dear spectators, for Game 2 of tonight, Red Lions versus SNOOZE Esports, and as the text here says it, Sloth versus Lion. Who's gonna be the king of the jungle?
Normally you would say the lion, probably. Even though lions probably don't live in the jungle, right? I mean, would be...
Yeah, but you know, in the jungle, you know...
Mine in jungle, the lions sleep tonight. Yeah, but aren't lions normally on steps and like...
Yeah, well, in mountains as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
mean,
not gonna look it up on Google.
Yeah,
Lions in jungle. I'm just saying it out loud for my own reference.
Yeah,
They
sure.
don't actually live in the jungle at all.
So the sloth is automatically the king of the jungle, right?
True, by default.
Basically. Sorry for Red Lion.
Yeah, I guess zoology answered the question for us. This is an unfair matchup. Because lions, I don't think lions can climb trees either. Either way, Red Lions versus SNOOZE Esports. Maybe we can take a look at both lineups once again before we get to the game. Because as before, we are working with the replays. Here we have them, SNOOZE Esports coming in strong with their lineup. Quite a few known players, especially in Luxembourg, with Rakuzi, with Reich, with Kinetic, with Yetun, and the top laner JJS coming in from the Netherlands, who did play for Pertinex Esports in the second division in the past split.
Yeah, and then of course not the royal family, but
that's the wrong king.
We need sure because lions are the king of the...
Yep.
Yep. Was a good joke. That is Red Lions, the four Frenchmen, and of course the good old Rene des Eagles, our female support in the first division. So what a matchup! In the end, probably SNOOZE maybe going in as a favorite, just because they basically are the strongest team from the qualifiers, at least you could say. So, but Red Lion, like I said, they had a couple of good showings here and there, and then of course the history behind this team. I mean, that speaks for themselves. So, who knows who will win it in the end?
Yeah, definitely. I think we can prepare ourselves for another banger matchup like the one we just had just before between Hitmonlee and Stabil, which was close until it wasn't and was very explosive. So I'm expecting even more explosions now for this next game, which we can start in actually whenever, as far as I know. At least I am ready. Are you ready, Fristana?
Definitely 100% ready. Will be a banger game.
I would say, without any further ado, let's get into Game 2 of tonight here at the Post Esports Masters, Red Lions versus SNOOZE Esports. Here we are, into the Summoner's Rift, dear spectators. We may now take a look at what we've got going in terms of champions for both teams, because as a reminder, issues with the spectator mode do not let us see the champ select, but we are working with replays of the game.
Yeah, and one of those two drafts is actually like the most classic draft you could ever hope for. It's just Siri Yumi with like good frontline tanks, Java not on, good backline damage, good wombo combo, good engage, good scaling. Like the team comp of Red Lions basically screams most simple, basic standard comp you can play, but also was hella strong. There's nothing bad to play a standard comp.
Yeah, oh yeah, we might have an early catch here onto Amaterasu. First blood goes to Jempi Drucker, also known as Reich, if you're wondering, on his Corki mid. And with a Corki, we might have quite a few pew-pews going on alongside with that, I forgot what is his name, the rat.
Twitch.
Twitch. I don't know why I... How do you forget a name that you've known for so long? That's terrible.
I don't know. In the end, this Twitch level 1 cheese, level 2 cheese, just going into the mid lane and just running them down, is actually not the used trick in the book, but sometimes you can still get people with that. So well played by Rakuzi and by Raich, of course. And I talked about standard team comps and Zac top lane, Lee Sin, Twitch Melio. At least Twitch Melio isn't something we saw quite a while. Normally you have a Furious Melio or Lucian Melio or something, but why not just play a real hyper carry, right?
Yeah, true. And also just to note, SNOOZE is playing with their substitute healer on the bot lane instead of a Yatu, which is worth mentioning. We've also had in the chat a poll about who you'd bet on for this matchup. SNOOZE Esports winning by 82%. Top lane we do have a 1v1 going on that looks quite bloody, and JJS picks up the kill on Bozier.
And for me, Zac top lane, I don't know, man. I love JJS. He's a wonderful top laner. I really liked his gameplay with Bottlenecks in the second division, ESLOL and stuff. And JJS here in the SNOOZE team, really beautiful at the moment. I mean, I remember his Cassandra 000 till minute 30 or something. Oh, right.
Careful. Oh, flash! Nice flash follow-up from Tundra Rookie, who picks up the return kill kind of this first blood on Reich.
Well played by him. But what I want to say is, Zac top lane really is like, if you want to pick something not unfair, but it's something like Teemo actually. I really hate Zac, and especially on the top lane, all his little plops. He just heals permanently in those fights. As a tank, I played this matchup as Poppy. You cannot win it because he just heals and heals and heals and is unkillable basically. And really, it's quite stupid. So JJ is definitely with a banger top lane champion, and I kind of feel for both three because it's a hard matchup. It's really tough to play against Zac.
Yes, and JJS is doing a rather good job of it at the moment, which does not make it any easier, of course.
No. Even harder, basically.
Yeah. Is it harder to play against a top laner who's doing a good job?
And like, just look at that. 75 HP by one plop. And it scales, it gets better by how low he gets. So basically, some plops in the early game, we are talking about minute 5. Just look at that, 90 HP, just by taking this plop. Again, 90 HP, and just think about it. He takes 3 of these plops, and he got 300 HP back. That's basically 3 or 4 pots in an instant. Just look at that. It's crazy, and you cannot fight him. You cannot out-sustain him.
Let's see, we have a situation here at level of the Void Grubs. Lots of damage falling, coming in from Red Lions, forcing SNOOZE Esports to fall back a bit. Careful, JJS just around the corner has hit level 6. They're just gonna fall back. They still rotate around it as it's now SNOOZE Esports taking charge on the Void Grub. JJS just around the corner. The first grub is falling at the hands of Kinetic. Here we have the E coming in. The Q is it gonna connect with a grub? Yes, it does. The CC is in lots of damage. Pulling on to Reich, however, Sandra Rookie was able to intercept him as he came in from the mid lane. Bowser coming in from the top lane as well is gonna join a bit late. The next to fall is Ziki from the red line. Sandra Rookie gets under the turret with barely any HP left. As the situation turns around, SNOOZE Esports now going towards the one player. He gets away with the blast cone, but they may grab those Void Grubs.
Yeah, what a team fight there. And we could see a glimpse of Sarayumi just in this early game. They just kited this and you couldn't really kill them, and in the end they even killed Reich. And I mean, Sarayumi, what a team comp. But of course they didn't want a team fight, so That's the reason why usually we don't see Zeri too often at the moment, at least in those high-level meta team comps right now, if you look at LCK and stuff. But as a comfort pick, why not? And he is a really good Zeri player, so Ziki definitely knows how to play it and knows the ins and outs of Zeri, so we can definitely... it's his most played solo champion, that's why I'm talking about it. So keep an eye on him, especially in the later team fights.
Yep, absolutely. Drake being made by Red Lions puts them back into the race here. Since SNOOZE did pick up those Void Grubs. With level 6 now, Bozier also a bit more confident, it seems like, in this lane. He's got the Bramble Vest, which is very important against the Zac here, because it does limit his ability to heal.
Yeah. And actually, I remember I played this matchup as an Ornn, I think two weeks ago or something, in a flex queue game with some friends. So as an Ornn, it's still winnable. I mean, I cry so much about the out-sustaining and the healing and stuff, but I mean, Ornn just scales really well, has tons of damage against tanks with his fire breathing, so it's still not losable. No, not losable. It's still not unfair, this matchup, but Zac just annoys me if I see him. That's why I cry.
Yeah, I mean, Zac doesn't scale so bad himself as a champion.
No,
it's not quite Ornn, because Ornn just, well, with the upgrades, obviously. But...
yeah, and they kinda do the same in team fights, right? They just knock up a bunch of people, they find engages out of 300 kilometers away, right?
Kinetic coming in, Dragon's Rage does go Warrior as he dies on the turret, but they do pick up the return kill, maybe even the double kill for Rakuzi, and in the end, it turns out well for SNOOZE Esports on the bot lane.
Ratatatata. That was the red there by Rakuzi, you know.
Ratkuzi, oh boy.
Ratkuzi, yeah. And I mean, he basically does what he did the last game on the Vayne, right? Just picking a hyper carry, just getting kills in the early game where no hyper carry should get kills because then he is broken. And now he will probably just snowball and carry the game for SNOOZE House. They are already over 1k gold ahead, so they got something out of the early game, especially if you look at Kinetic. Normally I don't like Lee Sin in competitive because as Lee Sin you always need to do things right. You always need to find those early plays, but Kinetic find them.
Yeah, for example here he is still able to take out both the Summoner and the Shockwave from the Orianna. We can see now in the bot lane indeed Rakuzi can simply roll it down, picks up a third kill onto Zilki, is on his killing spree, and I mean it's just a Rakuzi thing to do, right?
Yeah, and it was without ultimate, right? And if you just look at both item builds, he's basically, they are more or less even. They had both boots at least, right? So why is this red too strong? I mean, just look at that.
Yeah, even though Tundra Haruki was looking for the engagement here with the EQ TP coming in from the mid lane, maybe they do get the shutdown onto Rakuzi without him being able to get a return kill. Double kill for Amaterasu as he picks up heal on the way as well.
And that's so worth it for Amaterasu. Good teleport play there. And if I remember correctly, last game he played the Sintra against the Aurelia, and he kinda lost his lane, but then always found like 2 or 3 kills on the support, for example, with the Unleashed Power. And this time, with the teleport play, he is much better in-game than against Rolfham from last match day. He keeps the same farm than Raich, for example, so Amaterasu definitely plays a lot better than on his first match day. And I really like to see that, because Redline kinda worried me a little bit after this first showing, and now you can see especially Tundra Rookie, for example, lifting a lot of weight, and now Amaterasu stepping in with this clutch 2 kills teleport. So, and Ziki now even maybe gets range.
Yes, he is able to pick up a kill against Rakuzi. Red Lions was able to stop him in his tracks and stop the rat from further contaminating this game here.
Yeah, well played. And again, they basically had the same items, and one ADC run down the other ADC. It's what the most iconic thing to do. You lose by running it down, and now you win it by running it down. So I mean, why not? Trek spawned, and SNOOZE at least with Kinetic near want probably to fight it. And you can see that Tundra Rookie actually moving to the top lane. Oh no, he decides to, maybe I should go for Drake. So they actually try to maybe fight it, both top laners without flash. Maybe JJS can go to them, but no, they just does not contest this Drake. So SNOOZE with their first Drake of the game.
Yes, as they go for Drake, I'm wondering what is Red Lion's answer to that. They do have a ward in the pit, they do know. And it seems like Tundra Rookie decides to go for some counter jungler here, pick up some camps from Kinetic to at least get some money themselves. SNOOZE is slightly ahead, top lane looking good for Bowser. Both ultimates drop, very nice flash from JJS, comes back in with the E-stun. And it's just this fight with those two top laners to just whack each other the whole time and then get super low and they keep whacking each other and nobody dies. Nobody dies.
Yeah, and in the end it was Prostri who actually picked on in this sack. So he wanted to play this matchup basically, and you can definitely see why. He just basically outdamages Zac. And as long as he tries to deny at least some of those plops, because if Zac goes on a plop, he gets healed, but if you step on a plop, the plop just dies. So as long as he keeps trading it good and stops him from healing, and what we even saw was that he uses W to cancel the knockup. With all those little mechanics, Ornn definitely can win it in the long run. But you already see that he is behind in platings, he is behind in CS. So the JJS, even though he kind of lost this little 1v1, I mean, first of all, he solo killed him in the early game, right? But even after that, both ADCs again just running it down.
Yeah, both proc the Ghost. It's very funny. There's quite a few parallels between the two, right?
Definitely.
They have this similar way of going into a fight, but now we do have jungle and mid lane going towards this bot lane for Red Lions, giving some safety to their own bot lane and forcing SNOOZE Esports to be a bit more careful. However, this gives a green light for Kinetic to do this Herald without any issue. JJS does have the upper hand on the top lane. He is really low right now. I think that Bowser did come back to the lane, so he has to be careful. But he still is able to keep him on his tabs. Kinetic picks up this Herald without contest.
Yeah, well played there by Kinetic. And just those little 1v1s top lane. I just love tank battles. And just imagine a world, minute 30, minute 40, both top laners with 4 items. Those tank 1v1s are so enjoyable. As a tank player, you just, I don't know, fight 3 minutes straight, throwing spells left and right, and in the end someone dies or both just gentleman agreement go out because both have no mana, for example. I love those tank battles. JJS will never have no mana because he is not a mana champ, but sometimes there's this gentleman agreement where both tanks just say, okay, we battle 2 minutes and nobody dies, so why should we just teleport to the team and we do a proper team fight. I love those.
You have to notice here in this game, so in terms of the way they get objectives, SNOOZE Esports slightly ahead, having gotten 6 grubs and 2 turrets, even in Drakes, under Herald now, and kills, Red Lions is able to keep up. They do, yes, SNOOZE Esports takes some kills, we get some kills back, one gives, the other takes, and then the other takes, and the other gives, but there is a huge gold gap here. And an engage as I'm talking on the bot lane. TP also coming in from the top. There's lots of damage onto Healer. Is he gonna fall? He is the first to fall, but you have to be careful. Todoroki under the turret. Ziki is able to run it down towards SNOOZE Esports. Gets over the wall. Is gonna pick up Kinetic here, I believe. Triple kill for the Zeri player. JJS to STP in has to be careful now. So has Ziki, because he's now in the back line of SNOOZE Esports. But his teammates are there to help him out. Quadra kill for Ziki. Gets the shutdown on Reich. JJ is able to flee.
What a performance by Ziki, and that's what I was talking about. Oh, they might even get JJ.
He keeps on going. The damage is falling on the Zac player. Starting to get really low, but still heals so much. Now he's down. The blobs are proc. Careful, Healer is just around the corner, but it's a lone support. He's able to protect JJS.
They didn't knew that Rakuzi wasn't there. It's a red, so they don't know. Maybe Rakuzi is near and he's just on step. I think they could have just killed JJS there. But I mean, in the end, it's 4 kills for basically nothing. So really, really well played by Ziki, and that's exactly what I meant when I said he's a main. He knows how to play it, and yeah, just did an amazing job there in the team fight, dodging spells left and right with his mobility. Killing Healer first because he will just keep Rakuzi up and stuff, and yeah, I mean, what a wonderful play there by them. In the end, probably losing Drake because they are not really in a situation where they can contest it, especially now with bot lane turrets down and against package. You never want to play against Corki package, which got nerfed basically. Now it's I think only 35 seconds instead of 60 seconds. So a little bit less time to work around, but still every time Drake is up, you can just pick it up and then just play a team fight with package, which was pretty broken.
I want to mention earlier, before they decided to do this team fight, and yeah, okay, no, it doesn't look like we have that much tension going on. And now, even now, it's even more blatant to see. Red Lions does have these 3 kills advance. They got this great team fight. They have these picks left and right, but there is still a considerable gold lead for SNOOZE Esports. And if you look at the CS, it becomes clear why. There are huge gaps in CS, and this is what really shows the difference between 2 teams, how consistent SNOOZE Esports members are when it comes to CSing here.
Yeah, it's basically always something to have with like the underdog and like the top dog, because the underdog can definitely win games, and if especially in the early game, everybody just has maybe one item with a cheesy fight, with just a good team fight and total, you can win those. But in the long run, and that's sometimes the problem of the underdog, in my opinion, you are just individually a little bit weaker. Now JJS gets probably run down. I cannot really escape that.
He does. He tried to follow up. This is so close. It's the off cooldown. He gets away. This is so disgusting about Zac.
Yeah.
Do you know,
I think if Ziki just would have used Ghost, he would probably have killed him there, but he didn't want to. And in the end, I mean, summon as well for kill. Maybe it's not worth it, but he had a shutdown. So, okay, you can just solo bolo the jungler, of course. Why not? Well played by Rakuzi. Yeah, not by Reich. But what I wanted to say is that the individually stronger players, and that's maybe SNOOZE just on this competitive level and on those maybe solo queue level, just probably do with some more better rotations, have some more CS, and that all just adds up to being the top dog.
Huge damage coming on to Ziki from Reich, as the rest of his team is able to join up. We have the Q connecting from JJS. Ziki back to full life because of his support being on to him, as the team fight kind of degenerates and seems to die down, however, now. As both members get quite a bit of damage in without proper kill on either sides. JJS back into it, still looks for the angle. They keep the pressure up without overextending here.
Yeah. I mean, the problem in this team fight is the Corki right now. He's just really strong, has really good farm there. Oh, and
Ooh.
JJS, but cannot connect there.
Yeah, now he gets caught with the EQ. Passive is not up. Shutdown goes to Ziki. In the end, he does get that money from the Zac. Now Kinetic in the middle of Red Lions is forced to go back. Is able to flee, however.
Those Rockets, man, I don't know if you saw it, but they hurt, man. They really crush Red Lion, in the back line at least. Wilder got a good kill on JJS, a big shutdown, by the way. They still really struggle against the poke, and especially in later team fights, they will just get outpoked by Corki. Then they maybe try to look for an engage. Meantime, Zac jumps into the backline, and then the red appears. So I think team fights against the SNOOZE lineup are really hard to play, because as an on, you usually want to use your ultimate against those unmobile carries, right? Because then you can just knock them up. But Corki always just will use his Valkyrie to move out of the ultimate. You will never see the red, because the red is just invisible and probably is flanking you. And even a Zac, I mean, he will just gank you from in different angles. So your on ultimate rather becomes like a disengage tool, and then the engage tool after the enemy team engaged you, because against SNOOZE to engage from your side is maybe too hard, because you never see those carries, or you never get close to those carries.
Yes, indeed. Oh, a bit of a trap being laid out here by SNOOZE Esports, but with 3 members versus 5, it's a bit risky to fight. Drake is up, next objective on the map, and we are looking for the angle on sides of the SNOOZE Esports. Q connecting onto Amaterus, who is not able to get the pull back. Here comes the Call of the Forge God. Lots of damage falling onto the Orianna player, but at the price of their own mid lane. Now SNOOZE Esports goes all in. Bose is the next to looking to fall. Yes, at the hands of Kinetic, and they keep on going. Now here comes the AD carry of Red Lions. However, is he going to be able to turn the situation? Double kill, triple kill for the Zeri player as they keep on pushing on to JJS. Does he tries to get away? Are they going to be able to catch him this time? No, they just decide to not go for that and go for Baron, for Dragon. Oh boy, Ziki on the Zeri.
And I love that I mentioned it, that he is a Zeri main. I love it because you can see it in every movement, in every team fight. He just cracks them open with this Yuumi together. I mean, Zeri Yuumi, classic pick from summer 2023. Then got nerfed, then we never saw it again, and Seki just makes it popular again. And now even JJ is maybe in trouble, but should probably just jump out of the next E. I don't think that he will die here. Yeah, that's just
it's a Zac.
impossible.
It's a Zac.
Yeah.
Just don't bother chasing him, honestly.
Yeah, but that maybe gives time for SNOOZE now to get the vision control around the Baron. Good blue wards there to at least know that SNOOZE would have started it, and in the end they don't do it. And Zeri actually goes for an interesting item build. It's the experimental Hex Plate, which gives you attack speed and movement speed after you use the ultimate. And both stats are pretty good on Zeri, I would assume. I know they try to engage.
Yeah, they have the engage. Lots of damage already falling. Zeki picks up the first kill, opens up the dance. Double kill for the Zeri player. The jungler picks up the 3rd kill of this team fight. Kinetic is already under the turret, and JJS those classic Zac things. But Red Lions reacts really well. They just ignore that, rotate immediately towards Baron.
And it's so beautiful. I talked about it in the first minute of the game, that their team comp is just the classic League of Legends 5v5 team comp. You have just good engage, good scaling, good carries, and not like a bad composition. They have even like this long range engage, this wombo combo potential. So this team comp is basically, if you want to pick a solid good team comp, basically that it is. And on the other side, especially Lee Sin, he needs to play perfect on Lee Sin to even carry his team, because he needs to find those kicks, right? And then Zac is a little bit uncontroversial on top lane. Then you have like a Corki who wants to stick in a poke composition, but his team comp isn't really Poke, and then you have Twitch, who isn't really in the meta right now. So this team comp is much more tougher to play, much more difficult, and SNOOZE should be the stronger team, and that's why they could draft something like that. But in the end, they just get out team fighted by this easy to play, easy to engage, easy to carry team fight comp by Red Lions, and that just works out. And that, for me, that would be a huge upset if Red Lions win this game. And it's a little deja vu, you could say, with the finals of the last PAM, just by those player names losing against Red Lion, basically.
Definitely, it looks like Red Lions as a team just simply is buffed when it comes to underdog matches. Right now, having gained control of this game, they're the one leading the dance, taking tier 1 now in the mid lane, gonna keep that push going while top lane is busy. Here we have it, the tower dive coming in. Ziki keeps going in and just pushes them away. What a beast!
It's just every Lulu man, every Yumi man. It looks so unfair if you just see this gameplay, but in the end, he kinda got tormented in the early game, and then he just keep on grinding and won those team fights by himself with the Yumi together. So
yes.
It's well deserved by him.
He's got a whole redemption arc in this game going, and look at him now, shining brighter than ever. Inhib is made for Red Alliance, who now boast a 3k gold lead in this game.
And even the second big arc for me are those top and mid lanes, because if you remember it, PostTV just lost really hard to Axo in their first series on this the Mordekaiser or Darius matchup, and now, I mean, sure, he's down in CS, sure, he is 0-3, but in the end he's on. He will just carry his team anyway with good engages and with the on items, so he did everything correctly at the moment. Even almost solo killed JJS on the top lane, who is definitely maybe the strongest or second strongest top lane in our league right now. And so that's a big redemption arc for me. And also Amaterasu, who kinda lost his lane against the Aurelia on the same level maybe like Rakuzi. And no, definitely solid, 3-3-12, just gives shields, just one-shots people with his shockwave. So Amaterasu also on a little redemption arc, at least if you compare it to the last game versus Rolfham.
Yeah, definitely. The whole team decided to gather up in this redemption story, and they're doing an incredible job. Soul Point looks like is going to Red Lions as they pick up the third Drake of the game, and with that their second Ocean Drake. JJS trying to get that turret here, but Bowser putting up phase. I think it's going down, however, SNOOZE Esports secures a 6th turret. In the meantime, a Drake does go to Red Lions. A 1v1 between the two Colossus of the top lane goes on, but there doesn't seem to be any conclusion to it.
Yeah, like I said, 2 minutes of fighting, nobody dies. But the problem at the moment for... Oh, Shockwave Flash!
Whoa.
Did not get anything. The problem for On at the moment is he has just 2 items, Zac has 3, so he is not as tanky as Zac, and that's why he kinda loses the trades. Because Zac is just much more tanky and makes much more damage. But good flash engage there by Amaterasu. In the end, failing it, but he got the flash from Healer, who is now an easy target to engage, especially with Ornn, maybe.
Yes, because Bowser is right there, just around the corner, waiting for the right moment to do the call of the Forge God here, find an angle to engage. And Red Lions, they keep the pressure up, and it's kind of horrifying to see how much damage Ziki gets out on turrets and how fast he does. So.
Yeah, they don't know that Kinetic is there, but like I said, Kinetic needs to play it correctly, and package is almost out. Oh, it ran out. He tried to use it over the wall, but it didn't work. Oh, that's so sad, but Kinetic is still on the backyard.
Yeah, careful,
find
Ziki
Zeki.
getting really low. Kinetic in the backline might be going on to Team Wild. Both teams are fighting. Yeah, he is in the middle of it. But look at this healing from the Yumi. It's impossible. They cannot take the Zeri down. And in the meantime, the rest of Red Lions are pushing towards the base of SNOOZE Esports. Healer getting really low under the turret. Is he going to be surviving? He does not, because of the electrical shock that Ziki brings with himself. 2 members died for SNOOZE Esports. Red Lions with 2 minion waves into the base. It looks like they're beating one of the favorites of the leagues in the first week of the season. It's the last stand for the Slavs as they try to put out some damage, but it's looking really bad for them. Raj in the fountain already. We might have purchased Yon Amaterasu as Rakus is in the back line, but the CC of Bowser is just too good as they take down the rat. JJS tries for re-engage as Kinetic now respawned as well, but the turret is falling. Nexus open. They try to get Ziki. They do get the shutdown, but is it enough? Can they stop Red Lions in this ultimate push? Look at the Nexus. It's getting low. They are able to do it. Triple kill for JJS as they push back Red Lions with an ace.
You should have seen the cam of mine. I was shocked. I was almost falling from my chair. It could have been the biggest upset in our young PEM season, but I mean, they still have the chance to do it, right? But so close and finishing it, it kind of hurts. I mean, in the end, nothing really happens. They lose Baron. It's fine. They got the whole base, so just one winning team fight, and then they did it. But oh man, it's what a situation. From 0 to hero basically, and then crumbling at this last effort to kill the Nexus. I mean, there is a teleport. Some could say Amaterasu could just teleport in because Oriana actually has a lot of auto attack damage.
Yeah, nobody's there.
So I actually would do that. I would just try to fight a team fight, and then Amaterasu teleports in because Oriana kinda has decent attack speed, kinda has a lot of auto attack damage. I don't know if the passive, I mean, her passive deals on-hit damage, right? I don't know if that works on turrets, but still, Oriana AP carries normally have a lot of damage on turrets. So I would try it, but you see already in the base that they try to deward it, and how they found it actually.
Yes, Red Lions decides to go for the classic route of finding an engage here. JJS. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about this. It's the same as always. They just keep clobbering each other.
No. It's not the same. Now JJS has 4 items. They have 4 items against. Last time it was 3 against 2 items. Now it's 4 against 2 items. So JJS is basically crushing the 1v1. If they would fight, it would take 5 minutes, but he would crush him.
And another thing, they're mid lane and not top this time around, right?
Yeah. It's totally different. I see some really cool items and those in inventory. SNOOZE decided to go for a double Serpent's Fang, one on Lee Sin, one on Corki, just to stop those shields, man. I mean, this Yumi just shielding for 1000 or something. So just getting them a little bit lower, and especially like Oriana shields as well. We have those Jarvan shields. So just keeping those shields a little bit lower, or even Solari's shield, right? So plenty of them, but there is even no Ocean Soul, so they even heal more and more and more. And I still don't see anti-healing. No, Lee Sin has anti-heal. And even the red has anti-heal now.
And that just makes this Yumi healing even more terrifying. Very nice Sonya Sayed to not get CC'd. We have the engage. Kinetic in the backline is able to push Ziki away from the team fight. This is huge for them, but Amaterasu already does God's work. No need for the AD carriers. Red Lions stand proud here at the entrance of SNOOZE Esports base. Just rip through them. They get the shutdown on Ziki. This is looking really good for them. Rage next to fall. It's a 3v2 as Yumi is onto their team. Amaterasu dies. Bowser one once again alone here. Last man standing. We won't count the Yumi here. And SNOOZE Esports is able.
He goes for the teleport play!
Teleport with the wave! Is it
But
the
you can't
backdoor? Bowser onto the Nexus. Is he gonna be able to do it? It gets really low. The CC is here, but he has a wave with the CC. Here comes the Yumi. The Yumi is gonna take down the Nexus in this game, and with that, Red Lions takes the win versus SNOOZE Esports.
The Yumi couldn't follow the teleport, and then she just ran with no boots in the base and auto-attacks it. Oh, what a game. And what a teleport play, by the way. That was insane. And like I said, Redemption Arc, Bowscree, what a player there. Amazing.
Yeah. I definitely was able to bridge rest, but the rest of Red Lions really pulled through as well, especially at the end when SNOOZE Esports was able to eliminate the greatest threat, the Ezekiel and the Sari, which did a monster job. They were still able to hold strong, and with this TP at the end, take the win. Huge win for Red Lions as they beat the coming from the qualifiers favorite of the regular season. This is a huge start for them into this in this first week, actually.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest upset yet. So crazy by them, and hopefully we see more from the Red Lions, because I would have thought, yeah, maybe they go fourth or something. Maybe even relegation, just by what we saw in the first game. But with that, hold my beer. They will go to playoffs. They will go to offline final. With that,
yep. Definitely.
I mean, winning against SNOOZE. I mean, they went undefeated in the qualifier. So basically, Red Lion is now the king of the jungle.
They are the king of the jungle now.
The lion again.
Stepping up to the game with this win. Now, without any further ado, I would say we go into a short break in order to get the next game set up. We will be watching